You're listening to Reality in 5D with your host, Matt.
And Courtney. And today we have a special guest. Everyone, let's welcome my beautifully fabulous and glamorous sister, Nicki.
The strongest substance on earth isn't diamonds. It's me.
Yes,
Yes.
I
Hello,
love it.
folks. Repping here from Chi-Town, My Town. Although I'm very much dressed attire. I love LA Kitson edition. Um, I am a Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Leo rising, which means that I am crabby with a hard exterior and sweet, soft interior like Erica. But I experience play on words like Dorit. So I'm not just spilling the tea. I'm taking you on a whole journey, or as Lisa Rinna would say, a story, honey. So
Yes.
let's get into the story for today.
Yes. Well, cheers to that. Man, I know the tea is piping today. What do we have first on our agenda?
Should we talk about the reunion looks?
Of course.
We saw them in picture form first.
Yeah.
Seeing them live.
We didn't quite understand what the theme was either.
I'm still not 100. They said the
Yeah.
set was Rodeo Drive. I don't understand what the
Attire.
concept was for the attire, the dress code.
Eclectic.
Yes.
Yes,
Be as
yes.
eclectic as Rodeo, honey. But holy smokes. I mean, Dorit being called out for looking like a badass for smoking. I mean, Dirty Nails did, Kyle.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
Yeah.
I've seen Kyle smoke on here before. I felt like Sutton Brown. Was she the first to the couch? Sutton Brown?
Brown. Yes.
I felt like her outfit was okay, but it was kind of basic plain.
I liked it. I liked the color. I liked the simplicity of it. It was nice. It was beautiful. I mean, especially compared to Amanda. Amanda sitting next to her just looked like
I don't understand
an
the
80s
concept.
prom mess. Like, I don't know.
Well, and Bose in that 74-pound dress. Girl, how are you
Stunning.
keeping that up?
I
Tucked,
know.
nails. Bose is like queen.
Literally, she came to show us what a queen looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Always, always. And of course, Rachel, I mean, no contest. Vintage. Didn't expect anything less.
Oh my
Dead.
gosh.
Jay Mendel. Like, yes, yes, yes. She always looks fabulous. That Studio 54 party dress. Oh, I have to know where, who, love, and dead on
Is it
her.
available?
Yes.
I just love her life. I'm so jealous of her life.
Can we get
She's
that in
so
a Rachel
fabulous.
Zoe at the max, please? Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Love.
I would love to also point out that Dorit was not the last person to the couch.
Yes. I think
And
that
Andy
deserves some
pointed
credit.
that out too, which
Uh-huh.
she was certainly pleased to hear.
Yes.
Oh man.
We-
Who else
And
is on the couch
well,
right
Kyle, like her
Mm.
thing just matches the Rolls Royce. Okay.
now? Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't super impressed with Kyle.
No, I wasn't gagged in another collar. It's like a weird dress code that friend group has. I don't get it.
And they had to throw out immediately that Kyle is the longest housewife now, longest sitting housewife across all franchises. And I'm like, thanks to your producer
She
credit.
needed her flowers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, really a punctual award for being in a bad girls club? Like, I don't know.
Right.
No.
It should have ended with fart
Is
now.
this achievement or is this thirst? Like, I need a
Acting
drink.
like she's like some kind of mentor to these like newcomers. Ugh, please. I love when Bose called her out for that.
Oh, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that Erica's DJing now, and Bose is like, can we please get you to DJ for our wedding?
Yes!
Yes, I
Love,
am
love.
so here for that. I'm here for Erica. Love her, love her, love her. But like, what is the deal with DJing, guys? Is this like a huge moneymaker? Why is everybody running
can
towards
be.
I said
DJing?
the same thing. I'm like, why are all these Bravo stars all of a
What
sudden
are
doing these
they
like DJ
making for
gigs?
these shows that's leaving? They're all leaving like their
Right.
careers to go do this. It's wild, but
Maybe
hey,
we're in
good
the
for them.
wrong career,
Have
guys.
fun. Yeah, manifesting fun in your life is what everybody needs to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm totally here for it. One thing that stood out to me was when Andy asked Erica if she had any hope for resolution, and she was like, none.
Yeah.
That was kind of like, you set this up, because I feel like it goes back and forth. Like, you see how she has that raw emotion, like she really cares for Dorit, but then she's like, well, I don't want to be her friend. Like, you know what I mean? I don't. It's so mean
Well,
girl.
when Erica gets hurt, she puts that wall up and it's like she gets mean. That's like her false confidence. You know what I mean? So that she doesn't get hurt, she just like lashes out. That's why she's like, no, I'm done. I don't want anything. And then, talking with Dorit, obviously, I think it softened her opinion and changed. They was still admitted that they mean a lot to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So,
Dorit pulling out the Chanel makeup bag and,
mhm.
them like death staring at each other like that's how much you meant to me. Like clearly there's a lot,
That must be a
there that
Cancerian thing because that reminded me
well,
so much of you in that
very
moment.
much. Yeah, and we don't want to make things about us, but I think that's what relates people to Bravo and to the show is, like I say, Bravo hit sociologic gold, when they really can show how people watching this relate and at a population level, the systems and behaviors that affect us all. We all go through these trials and tribulations throughout various phases of our life. And, Erica very much because of her own trauma, is in a place where she's shutting down, which brings us to, a really great point, which is, this fight between Dorit, Kyle, and Erica is really three different points that they're all trying to kind of mush into one solve, which you're not going to have because you've got human design as a part of it, but really looking at Erica is right now showing a lack of closeness to Dorit,
Mm-hmm.
and closeness and connection is Dorit's number one priority in
Yeah.
relationships in general. And from Erica's perspective, because of the abuse and the other things that she very much like a cancer crab does, hold it in, protect yourself, keep protect everybody else from your problems as well. It's part of that compassion problem is that you're so compassionate for others that you don't want to trauma dump, but it's led them all to shut down. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that Kyle valuing control most, because people really kind of prioritize closeness, control, and being correct or concise. And some people put control as number one and closeness and connection last. And so they're going to have a harder time with somebody who puts connection with somebody first and primary
Yeah.
over being right or over being, in control of things. And so, Kyle keeping calling out Dorit for being selfish, and having the audacity to say she's not in the same financial position. How is that not patriarchal conditioning? I mean,
It's
again,
elitism at the very
who wants
least.
to follow in
Mhm.
Kyle's footsteps? I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
you sitting here sharing your opinion with the girls like it needs to be gold is ridiculous because I don't want to follow in the footsteps of your
Mm-mm.
decisions. I would
Yeah.
never do the things that you have chosen to do. So why are you commanding
Mhm.
that Dorit and other members of the cast for the last 15 years have had to do so?
Yeah. Agreed.
Well said.
And I also know, so it starts off with Rachel's package first. And did you note that Bose is sitting in the middle of both Dorit and Rachel, and you can feel the nervous energy radiating off of Rachel and radiating off of Dorit. And do you see they zoom in and they show Bose holding Rachel's hand as she goes through her package, and like
Yeah.
you can just feel that sense of like warmth and comfort. And I feel like this show's really about having like a multiplier. You know what I mean? And for so long,
Mhm.
well,
Mhm.
after LVP left, it became Kyle. And she has had that hold over everyone for all of these years. And now it's become such a bullying title for her. And I
Mhm.
feel I saw that moment with Bose and Rachel, and Bose in the middle of her comforting Dorit, two people who are going through ugly divorce, very public ugly divorces. And she's just radiating comfort and that like maternal, like she's giving them a hug on the couch basically.
Yeah.
She's like wrapped around them. You could just feel her energy.
You
And I'm
can
like,
feel the strength.
that's a real
Yeah.
force multiplier. And imagine
Yeah.
if Bose were sitting in that position as Kyle is in that on the cast, it would be such a different program. Like, you know what I mean? It would be a completely different storyline that we would have going right now.
Well, and going back to Erica, like, she's shutting down because she's coupling traumas, which,
Mm-hmm.
I can speak to. And I can't just say it's because of my Cancerian nature. It's also because I've been through a lot of trauma in my life that when something happens, it's like, oh my gosh, here's another thing. And then it brings all the things. And of course, for Erica, these things are very much still in real time.
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago or not, they're still very much in real time for her. And, so, you know, she's seeing these, you know, patterns of abuse, and it's so terrible because the lack of support that she's giving Dorit is really showing the Stockholm syndrome in herself.
Mm-hmm.
And, therefore she has no room right now for Dorit, which is, I think, why she's just shutting out. She's like, I
Mm-hmm.
can't, and Dorit needing to focus on her own stuff. She's been attacked since the first on the show. So,
She's lost a
she's just,
lot throughout the robbery, her marriage, now her friend group. So she
hmm
is has her own traumas. You're right,
Mm-hmm.
and they both, I mean, are dealing with it in similar ways, but it's kind of putting a wedge between both of them at the same time instead
Mm-hmm.
of
exactly
them
what's going
bonding
on
over
with,
it.
with them too, which is a
Yeah.
completely different point than why Kyle and Dorit are fighting. And so
Right.
Kyle trying to gaslight, manipulate the situation, and pull it all into one thing, is not. They are two different things that need to be handled very, very separately. And when Erica made the difference between the way she uses the word safe based on her traumatic experiences and the way Amanda used the word safe,
Yes.
which, gold when she said, you mean uncomfortable, which
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
where,
Being
yep.
unsafe and uncomfortable are completely different.
Did you catch when they called Kyle out when she made that comment when Rachel said that she cheated and she really had like made out at the beginning of the relationship with that
Mom.
bottle, and immediately the next day Rachel, or I'm sorry, Roger bought her a diamond and proposed, and Kyle's like, well, if that's the standard we're setting for the relationship, and Rachel's like, we need to wind that back. I only kissed the guy. It's not like I did some like,
Always starting rumors.
I know, I mean, like,
True to her fashion.
the fact that Rachel had to waste any time of her package explaining that for Kyle was just a little ugh to me anyway.
Always
Guys,
deflecting.
Kyle, yeah,
Mhm.
she admits her superstition and is very open about that. And so for someone who is superstitious, you don't seem to let karma intimidate you much. I
I know,
mean,
right?
what is this
Amen.
like universal wrath for your entitlement? Like, you're so sick of defending your character. Well, stop acting like that to everyone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
stop creating drama where there isn't any for your own manipulative sake.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
Stop
shouldn't have
producing.
to. Yeah. Let your actions speak for
Let
themselves.
the show produce
If you don't
itself.
like what that sounds like,
There's
that's exactly why you're
plenty of
defending them.
stuff between the wonderful, fabulous women on that cast,
Hmm.
where we really need to be empowering women and not
Mm-hmm.
allowing the patriarchy to rear its ugly conditioned head, you know, when we're trying to show, you know, and not that slash the patriarchy means replace with matriarchy. It simply means flip the triangle upside down, right? Like when 98% are benefiting and having optimal, you know, quality of life and only a small percentage aren't. That's where we need to be. And until we're there, we got a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm. And it's sad because I feel like Rachel Zoe was such a huge win for the cast, but she got such a
Mhm.
short package in this reunion. I mean, she did a lot. She had a great freshman season, one of the best for any housewife across the board. But it kind of got cut short behind Kyle's bullshit. I did note that Andy brought up that she debuted a new beau on the red carpet, and he also sells online courses similar to Amanda. And then when they asked, they're like, wait, so like the same thing Amanda does? And she like did that whole Virgo danced back around the conversation but never answered it because yeah, he does.
Like wellness and mindfulness connection. Amanda
Well, what is
even
she
rolled her
gonna
eyes.
say? I don't care. I'm not dating him for his career choices. I mean, come on, folks.
Did you
Yeah.
meet
Like,
Roger? Come on.
Roger's claim to fame was running everything Rachel built. Come on.
Was just
And running it not like he didn't what did he do?
no, he had to get a whole team of people because he couldn't. He just laid around at the pool all day and went to Vegas. Like he did nothing.
Well, she was pregnant. Ugh, all right,
Yeah.
we're getting ahead of ourselves into a different
yeah,
show
that's
because
a
that
different
Yeah.
show, guys.
That's
Yeah.
a
we could
different
go
day.
long
Yeah.
and hard on
Yeah,
Rachel, so we
yeah,
love
yeah.
her.
We
But
do.
so next we have Erica's package, which Andy's way of segueing into that was like, you have a husband in prison. I was like,
Oh, they did her dirty.
I was like,
She
oh,
laughed it off
kick
and
her while
good.
she's down.
Even he apologized for that transition. I was like, ooh, AI must have wrote that, and they just like
But then she gets credit for
annihilated her.
introducing a new man, and I find that interesting because we never really met the guy. He was only on a FaceTime call, and this is becoming a reoccurring theme this year across the Housewife franchises. Like, oh, this is my boyfriend on FaceTime. Like, oh, I have a note.
So
Like,
weird.
no,
It's so weird. Yeah.
we didn't get to a real introduction of this man. Like, I don't know. We
Well,
did
she
kind of touch on
says
her
no hard
past.
launch yet. No hard launch yet.
Yeah. We did touch on her past trials and relationships and the abuse. And I thought that honestly, we've gotten such a tough, rugged side of Erica. And I mean, rightfully so. She had to limit what she said and be very careful because she's been under legal
Hasn't she always?
scrutiny this entire almost run
Decade.
on
Yeah.
Housewives. She's put in what 9 years now, and I think that 7 of them have been going through some sort of lawsuit. So she's had to put up a rugged exterior. I thought it was refreshing that we got to see that side of Erica where she opened up about the abuse and about the trauma that she had been through.
Tom, to hear a real perspective of Tom that wasn't like, oh, he's great. I love him. I'm going to stick with him, even if he did all these things. You know, like she always acted like he was the greatest thing and she was going to stick by him no matter what. So hearing her talk about the mental abuse that he put her through, I was like, thank God that you came at least to terms, you know what I mean?
You're able to open up and talk about it now.
And that we can address it for what it was and you're not like looking all delusional because it was giving Delulu, you know?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
very Stockholm, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what's so unfortunate about patterns of abuse is, you know, socially vulnerable people or people who have been through a lot of trauma and abuse, you know, sometimes, you know, get in those patterns and she really hit on the shame, you know, which is why she didn't speak to it. You know, when Dorit's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I didn't feel close to you because you didn't share these things with me. But she was like, I couldn't even face them yet. And so, you know, when you can't do that, you know, and now it's just trauma clashing, right? Everybody's trauma responding. No one's actually hearing or listening to each other. And it's so sad to watch victims of abuse, you know, and I could speak to this as someone who's unfortunately experienced trauma and abuse in my life, where, you know, you do kind of go for a while until you can recognize the pattern from one type of abuse almost to the next. And, you know, that's where, watching her kind of be bulldozed by Kyle right now, after kind of like trying to swim through what she's gone through with Tom and swim through what she went through with this other person that she shared with us. And now she's kind of allowing Kyle to bulldoze you, in a way,
Yeah.
and abuse you. And it's heartbreaking for me.
Yeah.
I want to like give her a hug, and like a real hug, like not
Shake
somebody
her.
who's like, oh,
Yeah.
let me give
Oh.
your boyfriend, let me read their astrology. Like, she needs a real friend in her
Hmm.
life. And I do hope that she
Mhm.
really does have somebody that's there, because, do what you got to do with Kyle or whatever to production to keep the peace. I get it.
Keep
You
your
got a
job.
job to do. And I do think that some of those relationships are real and are worth saving, and going
Mhm.
after. I just hope that she is a strong woman, and she's so capable of getting out of these patterns. And I really hope and pray that she does.
Yeah, I mean, she said it took calling the police to end that relationship with the man who she spoke on this season. I mean, that had to be intense. That had to be a lot to go through.
Yeah.
And to be someone in the public eye and have to fight to keep that out of the media is already an added level that most people wouldn't understand.
But is she protecting him on some level?
That's what she does naturally. I mean, look, Tom, she
Is
divulged
that
that
right?
Tom didn't speak to her for 6 weeks, that
That's
he
the
was
Stockholm.
emotionally and financially abusive. I mean, like,
And yet she
puts
was
a
like, oh, Tom's the greatest. Tom's the best.
mhm.
I mean,
Tom
that's,
didn't show up to Broadway. Tom didn't read your book. Tom was
well,
actually a piece of shit. You defended until the end.
But I
and I
feel
don't
like
know.
it's acknowledging it, then it's speaking about it, but then it's acting on it. Like you need to do something about that. Like you can't just stop at like I'm going to share my story. That's wonderful and I want other people to come forward, but also I feel like if you're still going to protect them on some level, you're right. You're just hopping from one like enabler to the next at that point, one
Did
abuser to the
you
next.
hear? Yeah, did you hear Erica when she goes, I should stop talking? And I'm like, oh, what are we?
See what I
Kyle's
So
mean?
conditioned.
ambassador?
Hmm.
So your story sharing it
Mhm.
resonated with a lot of
Even
people. It was
though
hard to hear. I
Dorit
felt
telling
so
you not
bad
to
for her,
talk
but
was a big deal. Dorit telling you, and she wasn't even saying stop talking. She was just like, let me have this with Kyle because it's different again than what's going
Hmm.
on between us.
hmm
And she's like, don't shut me up. Someone is shutting you up because you literally said, I should stop talking.
Yeah.
and if you
Why?
really
Why
want
do
to
you have
protect
that
women,
mentality?
he's gonna do this
Yeah.
again. Maybe who are you really protecting at the end of the day?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure that a lot of it has to do with the trials that she's in. You don't want to have like co-occurring things in the judicial system, and she knows that more
Hmm.
than more
Yeah,
than
because it was just
most.
this
And
last
so,
week that it was thrown
Mhm.
out. So while they filmed the reunion, she was still in the lawsuit with Marco and Miami-Dade County, Florida. So I get that as well. And she was married to a lawyer, so she is well versed in when to be quiet. And you see her go through that moment where she wants to say the truth and then she pulls it back. When
Mhm.
Andy asked her if you could ask Tom one thing, what would it be? And she said, why? Why did you throw me out like that? That
Mhm.
I was like, damn, that's deep. Like you get these moments from Erica Jane where you see that soft side of her. But I feel like she also is afraid that if she doesn't give that, or what, Erica, will she be received?
That
You know
false
what I mean?
confidence, that's what she has to do in order to survive. She's in survival mode.
Yeah.
That's her way of like not letting it traumatize or affect her so she can stay strong and like keep going,
Hmm.
She puts that wall up and it's mean, it's blunt, she's looking out for number one. I can't blame her for that. But at the same time, she says just enough and then not enough at the same time. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, if
Enough
you're
to
going
get
to
people to
go
ask.
there, yeah, if you're going to
Hmm.
go there, let's go there. But like, if you're just going to be quiet or like protect them at the end of the day, like, I don't know. I
Well,
feel like we were
crabs
kind of left on a cliffhanger, you know?
crabs are very much like, come to me, right? Like they're not going to come to you. You've got to go out and catch
Mm-hmm.
them, right? And they what they want is to be released back to the water eventually. They don't want to be boiled and eaten. And so they, they have that like I'm going to protect myself till I know for sure that it's safe. And going back to that safe, versus uncomfortable, Erica's very much in a safety um zone, hyper focus right now, and so is Dorit, which is why they can't directly connect right now.
Yeah.
And then
For sure.
Amanda, just with her uncomfortability.
Hmm.
Um,
Like her
and what
existence makes me
Rachel says is
uncomfortable.
not bringing any value to the convo, which, I
Oh
mean,
my God, I know.
I mean, she was not correct.
There were several
seeds
moments,
of
like
contempt, like,
Uh-huh.
oh.
pulling back to Dorit and Erica, there were several moments where you could feel that they like almost wanted to like sideline and be like, hey, like
Hmm.
they in when Dorit walked in, even Erica was like, hi Dorit. Like she
Hmm.
acknowledged her when no one else on the couch did. There's real love there. And I hope that when they look
Right.
back and they watch this, that they do see that. There
Yeah.
were several moments that Kyle would interject and open her mouth and flip the narrative back around and you could shut it down. And I'm like, shut up.
Hmm.
Because
Goodbye,
Kyle has done
Kyle.
this to Erica in the past. Kyle
Yeah.
has done this to a lot of women in the past. And this is a
Hmm.
pattern. And so her pointing out patterns in the
Yeah.
show was quite hypocritical,
Well, if
not
it doesn't
surprisingly.
show
Oh yeah.
how much Kyle's been adding to the PK narrative, we even segue straight into
Mhm.
Dorit's package with a comment about PK dating the Sheehan version of Dorit. You know what I mean? Like we automatically go straight to PK as we pull into Dorit, who has way more to offer
Mm-hmm.
than he does. And then
The
we see a
last 5 seasons.
montage of Kyle defending
Mm-hmm.
PK. And I'm
The whole
like,
time.
do we need any more examples of how you've been a terrible friend to Dorit throughout this
Mhm.
entire divorce and before?
And how hurtful to say to your friend, I'm hurt by what you're doing to me, and they still cannot acknowledge.
Hmm.
And so that's why we're at this standoff.
Yeah,
There is nowhere to go when you value closeness over even being right.
right.
You
Well,
know, go ahead.
no, well, Kyle, I mean, like, Dorit even brings up, she's like, there's no way Kyle was not speaking to at least Mo, who's relaying this information back over to PK, if not PK himself, which honestly, I could see them all sitting at dinner with this production, like mindset, having these conversations. But Dorit's like, stuff is
Mhm.
coming to me in real time that it's clear like PK has all of this ammo about stuff that's being filmed that's not public knowledge. So like how do you even say that you're not the one feeding and fueling this fire? Like it's clear. It's messy. It's not even handled correctly if you are going to be producing on this level.
Kyle was the first one to cry in prior seasons about when women would attack her on the show and not take her aside
Mm-hmm.
and do
Boop.
it in a caring, loving, supportive way. And yet,
Mm-hmm.
it's perfectly okay for you to turn around and do that to somebody else because you're upset that they're not wanting to be your little puppet anymore. Like, that's not okay. And it's so disempowering to watch the show be almost under conditioning from the patriarchy, I'm sorry to say.
I saw in that moment when they even tried to, Kyle was like, no, no, everyone's saying this about you. They just didn't show it. And the one clip that production found to show was a conversation between her and Rachel. And Rachel's like, oh, we were out at the bar together and I couldn't find a read. And then she was in the smoking section. She was missing for 45 minutes. But I have to say, if I would have known there was a smoking section, that would have been the first place I checked. It's like she wouldn't have been missing for
Yeah.
40 minutes. You know what I mean? The way that they tried to manipulate that conversation to back up what Kyle said when I mean, like, that was completely out
That
of
other people
context.
thought
I'm
she
like,
was being erratic.
no, I don't.
Yeah,
Reaching.
it
Yeah.
was. It was.
Sorry,
And I
we see right
also
through that.
noted that Dorit was the only one we know. we've watched all these franchises, we've read the books, we know about Housewives. We know that in order
Dude,
to
and
go
I would have been
film,
out in the smoking section for 45 minutes. Like, come on,
I, well,
stop.
and they know that's usually where the most
Having
fun is,
good
at a bar
conversation
anyway.
with people. Like,
Drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
And I mean,
You're just sitting there like chatting.
I
And we know
know
she's long winded, so she's probably had like
yeah,
having
had
a
to
no, you
PT
relight
don't
it a
have
and a
couple
quick
cig and
times.
combos.
American
You go
spirits. Dorit
deep.
smokes
Scuba
American
dive.
spirits. They're a
Deep.
15-minute cig commitment. Let's be real.
Of course,
Yeah.
she smokes American cigs
Yeah, American
or
spirits.
spirits.
I
Hey, an RT
also
takes a little longer than that. I mean,
and if you think so, when in order to film on Housewives, they have to get clearance, they have to get like contracts with the business they're filming in. A lot of people have to agree. A lot of businesses don't agree. Just like in Italy, they didn't get to go inside a Prada or a Bottega. They were like, hell no, absolutely not. You're not coming in here and showing how we work, so we get robbed. They have to have permission. So for them to go into Love Shack Fancy and Dorit to be the only person to make a
yeah,
purchase for Rachel's friend's
that was
company
set up.
who allowed them to film there, I felt like everyone should have been obligated to purchase something and should have felt an obligation to purchase something. You're getting this is scene credit here. Like,
That's
you
why
know,
I thought it was a setup because they were probably told not to.
it's see what I mean? Like that's just
Because, like,
so
what are the chances that all of these, you know, Rive Gauche and Nuevo Riche bitches are
mhm.
not going into Love Shack Fancy and buying at least one thing, especially when they all have children, they all have daughters. Like, come on,
And
please.
Didn't
that's
Stop.
when go ahead, sorry.
didn't Kyle brag like in the very next scene after like dogging Dorit for making all those purchases and spending like $5,000, and then she's like, "Well, I went into Bottega Veneta and got this
Hmm.
bag."
Yeah.
Well, you know,
And then
her,
So,
she is not in the same financial predicament
I was
as
gonna
us
say
oh
in this
yeah,
that's when
oh
bitch.
she
yeah,
kicked her immediately with that
Okay,
comment, and then they
patriarchy.
immediately
Yeah.
kicked her with the house comment. They were like, "Ooh, the dog's down. Keep kicking, keep kicking." It was Mean
it
Girl. They've
was.
tried to Mean Girl Dorit, and I hope she
Which
doesn't walk
really
and she comes above it.
which really is what slided Rachel's debut was
Hmm.
because like they couldn't give Rachel more of a platform or tell more of her story even though she had a lot going on in her life this season
Yeah,
too. But
Hmm.
yeah,
they didn't really get into it because they were so hyper focused on what PK's reaction was going to be to something. Like who cares?
Yeah.
I
Who
know.
Hmm.
literally gives a flying whatever? Like no
Yeah,
one. Move on. You've got
Right.
Jennifer Tilly. You've got Erica Jane. You've got incredible women sitting at this table, and you've got to focus on what Mauricio and PK are up to.
Thank you.
Please
hmm,
Well,
let them go
Mauricio's
find their
downplaying
own
his drinking.
show.
yeah,
Exactly. That's what
yeah.
Mauricio's up to. He's partying across America and Europe on hopping on all these other housewife franchises, and he's literally playing into PK's drinking narrative.
You can
Dorit said it
clearly
herself.
see the divide. They
Hmm.
really they make excuses for PK and they crucify Dorit.
They did. And
Well,
Dorit came
The
ready.
line is clearly drawn.
and I'm intuitive. I see what's coming next. I mean, this whole thing with the agency and Kyle and Mauricio finally going through a divorce, all of this karma and this quicksand that she's been setting up, talking so much shit about how everybody else needs to handle their stuff, is going to come back for her
Oh
tenfold.
yeah.
And I don't pray for that. I don't want that for anyone, but that's how karma works. Like, you have to put good out there if you want good to keep coming back. And when you're telling someone else how they should be responding to their trauma and you are not a qualified mental health professional, you have a narcissistic problem.
Hmm.
And you know, that's why I loved them, you know, kind of segueing and ending the show on the difference between Bose's business mission
Hmm.
and the difference between Amanda Francis's business mission, which, you know, when you are truly out there with good intentions to help people grow, the universe is on your side.
For sure. For sure.
Yes.
And the
Uh,
fact that Kyle likes to tempt with that is really interesting to me.
hmm. And we end Dorit's package with the comment from Amanda when Amanda says she outsourced her financial well-being to a man. And I was so proud of Dorit because she sat straight up, looked her dead in the eye, and she said, "Sweetie, when I met PK, he was going through bankruptcy. He was broke. Everything we have,
Mhm.
we built." And Amanda sat there with her mouth
Heather.
shut. Yep.
Yeah.
Amanda, for someone who gives advice, she could really learn how to accept some.
She could.
And
She's
even
very narrow
Rachel,
minded.
Yeah,
being a
Rachel looked at her.
businesswoman herself, saying, hey, that means you're saying that
Mm,
women who stay at home don't have a value. You know,
Exactly.
like that is the most
it's hurtful.
undervalued
Hmm.
position in our country, in our world. That's why, women struggle so much to feel respected, is, and here you are saying that, there's no value if you aren't. Are you kidding? You couldn't afford a woman's value, like you
Mm-hmm.
will
She
spend
gives passive
lifetimes
aggressive
making up
insults.
for a woman's value.
Hmm.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And then takes like zero accountability for them.
Well, she doubles down on it, but then Loki apologizes, and I'm like, I can't with you. You write a fence. You're desperate to be liked. I love when Andy came in and said, never before Camille Grammer and never since, as a housewife came in and pissed off the, cause I'm not gonna put it quite so eloquently, but pissed off the entire Bravo verse, because let's be real, I
Uh-huh.
read the blogs, no one likes her, I report on it, I don't like her. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
it's not, it's her energy. For someone who preaches energy, it's shit. Like, and
Hey, I
we,
said, let me know when the Bose, Dorit, and Rachel show airs. Like, I am all about it.
No
yeah.
kidding. No
I and
kidding.
on an upside, Dorit did end her segment saying that her and PK were on a better place. So I mean,
Of
and
course they did.
honestly, despite the show, the girls, all of us as viewers, that's what's important. I mean, like, we don't
Yeah.
go home with them at the end of the day. So I mean, I hope so,
We
and I
wish
hope
the
it
best for
stays
her
that
and her
way.
children, for
Absolutely,
sure.
for
Always.
the children
And for
especially,
Dorit's mental health.
and absolutely,
For
because
sure.
PK can eat shit. I don't care.
Yeah.
Well,
Never
in
have.
my opinion, in no way has she said anything that's out of line. I mean, if a man that you have loved and have children with is going to humiliate you publicly like that, I mean, come on. All is fair in love and war. Burn that motherfucker to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you should behave. That's how you slash a patriarchy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't let entitled men continue to be enabled with their bad behaviors. Kyle.
Literally. Speaking of Kyle, we segue into Amanda's package, who I feel like her only claim to fame, and we even open her package with the fact that she's only here because she bought Kyle's old house.
Oh yeah.
Let's let's be. They had to throw that
Because
in there,
why?
but they also, one thing that irked me is they brought up her very low refund rate. So I've gone down the wormhole into Amanda Francis and her business and what she does, and she has a low refund rate because she doesn't offer refund. She redirects your refund into the form of another course you may like better. No, if that didn't work, here's another course you may like better. And that is all over social media. People who've
Oh,
taken the course have spoken out. You are cheating the metric. You can't claim a metric that you're cheating. I don't, that's not,
that's called a
you have a
scam.
low refund rate because you don't offer the money back. You have a high
Scamanda.
success rate because the money is like going in and you are clearly like not allowing the people who really do have an issue to get it back. That's why you have a low refund rate.
Well, you outsourced your financial well being to a Ponzi scheme and it didn't go well.
Oh, amen. There we go.
Karma.
Like Bo said, you walked away from a cult
Mhm.
and built a cult. Literally.
Yeah, she's highly emasculating, bragging, competitive, victim.
Yeah. They managed to find a couple of nice quotes from viewers to say about her, I think because they didn't want to look like they were bullying the girl, because I mean, it's been
Well, I give her more props than I give Sutton, Kyle, and Erica for showing up for Dorit's book signing.
agreed.
So,
Agreed.
I mean, there is that thing. I mean, yes, you always empower women, and if these are people you care about and you do intend on resurrecting relationships with, then yeah, you show up for them. And Dorit showing up for the wedding, despite Kyle not coming to her book signing, I think says so much more about Dorit as a person than it does about Kyle and her character. So,
Yeah, I agree. Do you, so Courtney and I mean, we have our opinions on Amanda Francis. Do you see a second season, a future for Amanda Francis on Beverly Hills?
I'm gonna just put it out there, guys. I feel like Amanda was a repeat for Kyle of Teddy, and it didn't go very well.
I could see that. Sure.
You
Yeah.
know. And not to say anything bad about Teddy. She's lovely. And I pray for her and what she's going through and her
Oh,
family.
100%. 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
agreed. Um, I did take note. So they're already married, her and the husband. They're married. They got married at the courthouse, but they have set a big wedding date for 10/10/2026. Is the wedding date 10/10/2026 something we should be looking into astrologically on that date? You know what I mean? Or was this just something that she's doing to hope, like to reach and to hope that production picks her up another season so she has something to talk about next season, even though they're already married? That gives her energy. Do you get what
That
I'm
was the
asking?
9-9
Oh, yeah.
portal though on nine nine
I
twenty
mean, an
five.
But she's getting married
entrepreneur
10
is
10
No,
doing a
well,
twenty
multi-pronged
six.
approach.
they already got
Yeah.
married on 9-9-25.
So
She's
she
having
followed
a
that portal.
I think
ceremony
she's doing ten
on
ten
ten
portal.
ten
Yeah.
26. So the 9-9-25 was the 9-9-9 portal.
Okay.
So now she's going to follow it up with that other ceremony on 10-10-26. So I bet that has something to do with
Hmm.
that portal as well.
They asked her if her husband had any issue about the way that she spoke about him this season, because I feel like a lot of viewers had a lot of issues with the way that she spoke about him this season. She speaks a lot, not only about him, but for him. You know what I mean? Which honestly, we're not here to watch him. Obviously, I wasn't here to watch her, but we're not here to watch him. But he did divulge that he didn't like the way that she specifically like brought up the way that she makes more a month than he does.
Did anyone that seemed rooted in malice?
I
You
mean,
know what I
everyone
mean?
was kind of trying to explain that to her, like Rachel, Erica. They're like, it's not what you're saying, it's the way that you're saying it. And
Passive aggressive.
it's not unlike your situations here within the group. You
Uh
continue
huh.
to say these things in a way that is pissing everybody off, and we're not gonna like
Yeah.
let it slide
Well, it
anymore.
shows
Me.
her own insecurities. I mean, because like
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, and she said it. She goes, I could have easily done that. Like I was the breadwinner in my family. Most of well, I guess not most of them, but some of the women on that couch were, the breadwinners for
Mm-hmm.
their family. And so, you can't, again, you don't diminish somebody who doesn't decide to go into the workforce because we are humans on this planet and we all do get to have a choice. Can choose to, be a career woman, and you do deserve to be supported for that. And it is great that you've been able to do that. But why do you need to specifically announce it? What value, like Rachel said, does that actually bring to the conversation? It doesn't. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
even bring value when you are empowering women. Because again, like I said, slash the
If you have to put
patriarchy
someone
does not
down in order
mean
to empower.
replace with a
Mm-hmm.
matriarchy. It just means let's flip the model, right? Where we're all treated like, you know, with the best quality and the best access, right? That's how we create generations of
Mm-hmm.
wonderful humans moving forward.
Well, and she shuts Rachel down, and you can see how pissed Rachel is in the face. She's like, I help women make money, and Rachel's like, I don't help women make money. Like, you could see immediately Rachel's like, do I come for this bitch? Like,
If
you
she
could
had
feel it.
anyone to learn from,
Yeah.
she should have shut her mouth and listened to
No,
Rachel. But
literally.
she thought that she knew everything and just, I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You know what I mean? She's a lost cause. And when she's divorced, she has herself to blame.
And she gets slammed for several of the cringe moments, but the one that hit the hardest was when Erica divulges that she caught her telling the cameraman to get shots of her Chanel bag, and she's like, no, you cannot leave with that shit, we are too old and too experienced. And she's like, you can have the bag, but the bag can't make you. Like, that can't be who
Mm-hmm.
you are when you're walking into this. And I'm glad they
Mm-hmm.
addressed that, because she said all season, everyone films their stuff, everyone does that. Yes, but that's not who we are as people.
She had no
Honey, are you
substance.
that shallow, to quote
Yeah.
Rita? Like, I mean. And Rachel swings back like with the whole, everyone knows who you are when you walk in the room. No, I didn't know who you were. Like, I didn't know who you were before this. Quite frankly, I've read The Secret. I read My Rich BFF by Vivian Tu or Wu. I'm sorry, I hate to misquote the author, but I knew those books, and that's the book she ripped her book off of, allegedly. So I don't know who you are either, Amanda Francis. You don't walk into every room and everyone knows who you are.
Girl, bye.
And she made that comment.
Let's just remember Tilly is a friend of, and Amanda held a diamond this season.
That's
That's
what I was confused about because I was pretty sure she came on as a friend of, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
Well,
do like the
speaking of
way.
Jennifer Tilly, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, no, no. You like the way what?
I did like the way that they tried to throw the cold comment with Kyle out there
Hmm.
And Bose handled that so eloquently. She was like, it's because you held back, but I feel like we're getting to a better place. Like, and you could see in Kyle's face, like, that really hurt her.
It's
Like,
hard to hurt Kyle,
it
but being
is.
called cold, that hurt her. And I was like, "Ooh, get her, Bose."
She turns right around though, and she comes for Amanda over that business comment where Amanda's like, "Oh no, they've got you on camera. They've got you on camera saying that your business failed, this and that, blah blah blah." And Bose is like, "Actually, the difference between you and I is I've created a course that is a replica of the course that I taught at Harvard for people who cannot afford to take this course at Harvard. I didn't do this for money. You created a course called Rich as Fuck to make money and profit off of, to be the money queen. You and I are not the same." I'm like, thank you. You can kind of see these moments tick in her face. You can see her like, oh shit. Like she came calculated and ready, but I don't think she was ready. When they asked her when she sat down, "Are you ready?" "No, honey, you weren't ready." You're up against Bose. Bose is a queen. You're up against Erica. You're like, were you ready?
I don't think anybody could be ready for a reunion experience. Like, you know.
Mm-mm.
She was delusional since the moment she sat down. She's like, "I'm just gonna try
Mhm.
to have fun." What do you mean, girl? There's nothing fun about this reunion.
You're
The
here to
whole
work.
audience hated you. You're here to get verbally eviscerated. Like, no.
That kind of
Fine.
ended like the whole thing too. So obviously it's only gonna get better because we have 2 more episodes of this reunion.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
just skimming the
We
surface.
are. We're just skimming the surface. The true drama, I think the true grit is to come.
Yes, the meat and potatoes, so to speak.
I think we already know that there's no resolve between Erica and Dorit, but I'm ready for Kyle and Dorit. I'm ready for Dorit to get out what she's had to say to Kyle for a long time without the fear of being cut,
Yes.
or you know what I mean? Like you can tell that she's finally like, fuck you, fuck your production credit. Like we're gonna go here.
Yep.
Also, I want to know more about this cult. I feel like we
Put
just
that shit
glazed
behind
right
me.
over the
Keep
cult.
my
Like,
diamonds
what?
blinded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because there really isn't one. And, and I'm sure whoever she's
She.
speaking out against probably reached out to production immediately and was like, shut this down. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
that's serious stuff when you are, you
Controlling the
know,
narrative.
when you're trying to claim that there is somebody out there that's hurting and traumatizing and violating human rights. Like that's not something to glaze over. There is huge
Mhm.
response mechanisms in place when that stuff is come to light. And, you have people that have to respond,
Mm-hmm.
mandated reporting. Like you cannot just hear something like that and then let those victims just continue to suffer.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see how Bravo is going to handle that because I know it's not the first time they've had to deal with, legal, constitutional human rights issues on the show. But
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Tilly in that dress, I'm so excited to see
Can't
that.
wait to see it.
Yes.
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 And really this tea about the agency because again, I think this is where Kyle's quicksand is going to
Hmm.
come back for
Within
her.
Kathy. Kathy will be the one that can put her in her place always.
And activator. She
Yep.
always acts so
Yeah,
uncouth when Kathy comes out.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
So,
I have to say, it has been a blast having you in the tea room
Oh,
and
guys,
like
this
getting
is
yes.
a different take on everything. Honestly, we have a lot of similar opinions, so that's been like
Yes.
really fun. It's been a fun kiki. Always is. So thanks for
Well,
coming
you
to the
know it's
tea
a
room.
Thank you
Oh,
so
thank you
much.
guys for having me. Love to be a guest. You guys,
Yes, anytime. And you guys
Yes.
at home, thank you for listening to Reality in 5D with your host Matt.
Courtney,
And
special
oh,
guest.
Nikki, catch us on
yeah.
Rodeo. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.